Doors, a guide to connecting. Disclaimer: this is obviously not a blanket statement or meant to apply to everyone, but it does apply to most people. So, men typically have a top down way of thinking and feeling when it comes to relationships, and I'll refer to it as starting at the brain, going through a door, and then passing through to the heart and feelings, because men are more thought dominant. Women tend to fall more into the feelings based thinking where they start at the heart, then the door opens into the brain to where it can make sense for a relationship because women are more feeling dominant. Both are obviously capable of using logic and emotion, but men and women have different triggers that open or close the doors. When it comes to men, the brain controls the door. Men have to think the relationship is going well for the door to stay open. This is through mental attachment. It makes sense on paper, feels respected or hopeful about the relationship, and has rules and agreements that are honored. Now, the door will sometimes open, but the brain ultimately controls whether or not the door stays open and will slam the door closed if it is not on board or after. He's kind of like this, sometimes we can like someone and feel like, hey, we had a good time together. Or, she's really pretty, or oh, I just love having sex with. Come on, I like her. And the heart is like, hey, I'm really into this. I like this girl. We have moments. She is the one. We have these moments where we are kind of caught up in ourselves, but we will always revert back to this list, to this like, hey, does this really make sense here? Am I really what about what happened last time? And nope. So we will feel this at times, but then we will always come back to this is going to control whether the door opens or not. So then we can be stuck in this phase of confusion where we're like, geez, I love this girl. Like, I like how she makes me feel. She's really pretty. The sex is amazing. We have this great sense of humor where we laugh and we giggle and we play. And man, why do I not feel this all the time? And it's because maybe there's an attitude issue, there's some disrespect, trust issues, we don't have the same life goals, or just general fears and concerns about the relationship where we're just like, I just can't stay here. This guy keeps slamming the door on me. Men will always return to the choice that makes the most sense, and that is decided by the brain. So if you're a good guy and you communicate this, if you can understand yourself and be clear, we can say, hey, I'm unable to progress without certain things happening, right? Like I feel these ways about these things and I notice that it's blocking me and this door is closed. This is as far as we go for now. And she might be like, okay, I hear you. The door is closed, right? But then we have those moments where we connect and we have sex or we have a good moment, a good date, and the door does temporarily open and she sees your heart in there. And she's like, I hear you saying the door is closed, but I also see that it's open. So we'll get into that. But these are the things that open the door for us. A romantic moment, an awesome date, things we have in common, a funny joke, some sexy time. But these are temporary door openers. So then when it comes to women, it's just the opposite, where they have to feel something for this door to open and for it then to go up to their brain. Like women are very feeling based. So back in this other scenario where she's hearing door closed and seeing door open, we can agree that, hey, this door is going to be closed until certain things happen, right? Right, right. Yeah, yeah, right. But then these things happen here where we have a romantic moment, a great date, we have sex, and then her door opens because she sees your door is open. She's not thinking back to, she's not going back to, I remember what we talked about. The door was closed because she's seeing the door open and she's feeling that it's open. Now her door is open and this guy cannot close the door. The heart opens the door, but this cannot close it for a woman. Women have to feel emotion for the door to open, and it is not just something that can make sense on paper. Women can logically close the door, but if emotions are provoked, the heart will burst the door open, and the brain cannot close the door on its own. So here's what it looks like on her end, where it's like, hey, you remember what we talked about, right? You remember what we agreed to? I don't know. That date was pretty awesome. I am 1000%. This is the one. I am ready. Let's go. Wait a second here. Like, we talked about this. Nope, nope, nope. We are going. And then it can kind of look like this, where the brain says we agreed to the rules, but we had sex, so sex wins. He's broke and my mom hates him, and but I love how he makes me feel. Win. I know that I shouldn't, but I don't. Then we get to the place where this guy says we are good to go. It all checks out. It is all on paper. Yes, oh my God. But the heart's not feeling it, so the door closes. But that's a whole other story. So I can break this down for men a little better because I am a man and I know how this works. But up here is where we are sure of you, where the brain is happy, the heart is happy. I'm sure of you. This all makes sense. We are good to go. Here, where it's the brain is happy, but the heart is, you know, we're uncertain, but we don't want it to end. Same here. The heart could be like, oh my God, yes, but the brain could be like, not quite sure yet. We're uncertain, but we don't want it to end. Here, we're we're simple creatures. Here, we can have a brain being like, I don't know about this. Heart, I don't know about this. We're uncertain. We're okay with it ending, but we're not going to end it. And then the period where it's ending or never started to begin with is just, you know, we're not thinking it, we're not feeling it. How do women factor? I don't know. Too much to explain here, but the heart does rule all. And, Home Math has a lot of stuff on this.